Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are going to do a story in my 6x8 story album, using some of the new collections that I had hauled recently. So these are just two of the papers that I got from the flea market collection and the ephemera bits, which are beautiful. I love the color schemes for these. I actually feel like I regret not getting more color options, but I just thought the tags was going to be a cute layout, and this one with the florals as well. However, I think I'm going to use the tags, and we're going to do it in 6x8. So we are going to use a pocket page, not that configuration, but a pocket page on the opposite side. And so I've pulled these two purpley colors. These are just from my stash that I feel will work with it, because I'm going to select about 6 of the tags I feel is going to be one side of the, layout, and then have all of these in like 4 of the pocket pages over here is my thought. So this particular layout, so caveat to an upcoming video, I feel 3 things. I feel that since Vale started school, if you've been following my channel, I have been doing school year inserts. So around the ages of 4 and this year of 5, I have had like 2 albums geared to just stories about her that are like current things that she's going through, or the first time at a book fair, and when we were wearing masks last year during COVID. And so what I'm realizing is that I didn't do detailed stories before the age of 4. Like, yes, I did Project Life and everything is documented when she was a newborn, and those years before starting school. But I almost want to make an album for those deeper stories, as the things that I still remember, that I almost want to, in essence, leave for her when she is older. So this is a layout that's going to go in that album. I will be having it in the future because I have picked out like a 6x8 album from Citrus Twist, which is like a nice, either, what I'm looking at them, peony or flamingo, I think it's called, shades, in which I'm going to start printing out photos from when she was tinier and elongate on longer stories for her to have kind of like this, I almost like gift it to her, of like baby stories, and then she'll have these inserts from the Heidi Swap storyline chapters. And I'll do it for next year too, and those inserts, because I think 3 fit in one of those binders. And then kind of continue, at that point, see which way to venture as far as my memory keeping specifically for her. So with that being said, like I said, this one is going to be, so these are just older pictures, like as you can see. So I'm going to make a flap for one of them. And she was just the tiniest little thing. So let's get started making this. I will tell you the story behind this day, or these specific days, and actually you can even tell they're not the most greatest because they came up on a Facebook memory, which depixelates them a lot. So this is what I mean. Like, they're, like I said, I did scrapbook, but not as much. And I do have my memory plan. I do have Project Life for years 1 through 3 of her, but I don't have much as far as that elaboration, those harder stories to tell. And in this situation, what we did right before these pictures were taken is a hard story, and that's what I'll explain on the voiceover. So let's get started. Okay, so let's get started. So the story, okay, overall, I'm going to cut the tags down just so I can tell you what I'm doing, and then I'll tell you the journaling part. I pick out 6 of my favorite tags that I thought worked well, that all have kind of a purpley kind of vibe to them. That way on the purple paper, they would pop. And so the story is just how hard breastfeeding was for me at this time. Between the months of newborn to 3 months old or so, it did not come easily for me. And I know I'm not alone, but I just had such high mommy hopes to breastfeed for like a year. And by all means, I know it's not for everyone, but it was a choice that me and Miguel wanted to provide for our daughter. Was able, like I said, to do it for like the first 3 months, but it started to become a problem earlier than that, where my supply wasn't as abundant for her. So I had to start like, how do you say, like substituting formula like every other bottle, because it just wasn't producing. And I did every trick in the book, between meetings of leche, that's called here in Florida, where you get coaching on how to do it in case you're doing it improperly. Pumping, skin to skin, cluster feeding, vitamins, lactating cookies, all the things I tried. And so more of the journaling is right before. So I have a friend, a good friend, who I think one day we were having lunch and I was sharing with her my struggles. And ironically, she had a lunch date the day before with a friend that I didn't know at the time, who happened to share with her how she was overproducing, and has so much like extra milk in her freezer that she has an extra freezer, and that she was thinking of donating it to someone that could use it. So this is how the story comes to, because I was fortunate enough, and again, it was my own choice to still have breast milk for my daughter that I was getting from a friend who had delivered around the same time. So again, controversial, but this was a choice that I just wanted the longest amount of time. So total, I think she was on breast milk for 6 months, and then she was on formula thereafter. So that is the journaling that is going with these photos, because these photos represent a day where we had met with them right before these pictures, at lunch, with a cooler, in order to take all of the pumped milk she had frozen, and so generously gave it to us to provide for my daughter. So that's the story. And these are the stories, like I said, that I want to kind of have like a little bit of a 0 to 4 year old, things that I didn't elaborate on. So back to the layout. These tags now, I've taken the time, as you can see, to decorate all of the top parts, because I had to figure out a way to have them flip up in order to still decorate them. Because if I flip them up, I was like, oh, then I don't need to have the holes, or maybe I can just punch a little bow on the top, and that was just going to be too bulky. So this worked out fine, where then I just kind of creased it just below where the ribbons get set through the holes, and it creates the flap, and that way I only have to attach adhesive to the top part, and it worked out great. Now, if you did see, I don't know if you did see, but so the dimensions are bigger than the page protector. So I am going to have my pages kind of be embraced at whatever size they need to, because I didn't want to cut down the tag. So this is like just big enough to have 3 across and 2 high. So it will be a little bit bigger than a page protector, which I am okay with, because I've accepted that if I'm going to have some of these more elaborate decorative pages, that I'll just keep it in mind whenever I have the story on the opposite side. It just has to be as big to grace the backside, because I have more room to work with. And doing the hole punching too, you can see how that space is wider towards the middle binding than a classic, hole punching would be. So it's just a trick that I've learned, that I've been doing on a few layouts, in order to hide the binder seam, I guess, the what do you call it, the D-ring binder clasp in the middle. You just can't see it as much when you have it done this way. So hopefully on the pictures you'll see what I mean. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to share in this layout is, like I said, I know not everyone is for breastfeeding. And if you are, you can probably understand the struggles I had. Even Miguel gave me a few little details that I had forgotten, simply because he was my partner watching me struggle to do it. And I think if I just had accepted that I wasn't producing as much for her as needed, or for her appetite, I'll just say I would have given up sooner, but I would have just accepted my fate sooner. And so, like I said, these are just stories that I want to have more elaborate in a story album, that are just these mommy woes, I guess. And even I'm going to obviously not have all these hard stories. There's plenty of joy that has come with motherhood. So that will be kind of a separate video, just to kind of showcase what I've been planning to do. I just really wanted to use this collection with these photos, because I thought they were so cute together. So these clusters that I am working with are the ephemera pack. They will be outside of the page protector, but in the photos I think I'll have everything outside the page protector, so that it's easy to see all of the gorgeous colors, like the purples in this color, and fuchsia and pinks just work so great with the like a aqua teal color too. Really pretty, really pretty. I might have to buy more of this collection, let's be honest. Okay, that will wrap up this layout. So I went ahead already off camera, just so you can see, and did all of my journaling on sticker paper. I have actually also, the first time I bought it, glossy sticker paper. You can see how it catches my light. And I don't like it as much for other projects that are outside the page protector, but I decided to use it on this one because it didn't really matter much as far as it. So you can see I had a lot to say. So everything I shared probably in the voiceover is the journaling. So these 4 are the only ones that flip up, and then these 2 I just stuck down and don't have them budging because of the fact that they needed to have the hole punches through it. So I just think it's darling. And then this one as well. So I kept these 2 clusters you saw outside the page protector, which is fine. And then this one will flip up just to show one more photo. I do have enough room for journaling, but I think I'll leave it as such because I even went back on my camera and I don't have like a, 6 photo. I can't even lift it up. I have to make little tabs. 6 photo to even put there. But it's definitely cute enough as it is. And then these kind of overlap there where there was negative space anyway. So I hope this shows you a creative way to use your scrapbooking collection. This is probably going to be a kind of a goal for me as well, simply because I do have so much scrapbooking supplies, meaning like the pattern papers and 12 by 12, that since I'm gearing towards the smaller size, I have to figure out, creative ways to incorporate it into a smaller size album, since 12 by 12 is less and less these days for me. But I hope you find inspiration. Nonetheless, please subscribe if you are new here. Give this video a thumbs up if you could, and hit the bell notification next to subscribe so that you know when I upload future videos. Thank you so much. Till next time. Bye.